All right, let's dive right into this explainer and solve a seriously universal frustration. You know the exact moment I'm talking about. You're having a perfectly lovely evening, you're cooking dinner, and out of nowhere, your whole flow is completely interrupted by a flashing error code on your induction cooktop. It's incredibly annoying. But today, we are going to become troubleshooting detectives and figure out exactly what your appliance is trying to tell you.
Picture this. You're mid-recipe, maybe getting the perfect sear on a steak or simmering a really delicate sauce. Suddenly, the stove beeps aggressively and you are just staring at an error code, usually an E1 or an E5. In that brief moment of panic, you're probably wondering if you just broke a very expensive appliance or if your dinner is totally ruined. It feels like a complete mystery, but as we're going to see, it's actually highly specific communication from your cooktop.
Section 1. Decoding errors. Thermal versus electromagnetic failures.
Now, we're going to start by looking at the general science of induction to grasp what the cooktop is actually measuring when it throws these codes. What's genuinely fascinating is that these triggers brilliantly illustrate how these error codes are not just random, arbitrary glitches. Unlike older gas or electric coil stoves that just blindly push out heat, induction units are measuring precise, millisecond by millisecond data. In generic terms, an E1 code represents a thermal failure. Specifically, the power electronics inside are overheating. This usually happens if your kitchen is sweltering over 35 degrees Celsius or if the ventilation is blocked. On the flip side, an E5 is an electromagnetic failure. The magnetic flex is interrupted, meaning the cooktop simply cannot detect the pan properly. Confusing the two? Well, that's just a recipe for a very frustrating kitchen experience.
And hey, this brings us to a massive misconception. It's a widespread myth that if you get a pan detection error, an E5, you just need to wipe down the glass, wait 30 seconds, and try again. But as the data shows us, residue alone rarely causes an E5 error. Honestly, a little bit of grease isn't going to stop a powerful magnetic field. It's almost always a combination of minor surface interference paired with a warped pan base or just a pan that simply isn't fully compatible to begin with.
Section 2. The hard reboot myth.
Let's talk about a critical warning regarding how people instinctively try to fix these errors. When a screen freezes or an appliance beeps, our modern reflex is just to yank the plug out of the wall or flip the circuit breaker. We call this the hard reboot. But get this, a staggering 72% of E1 and E5 warranty returns actually involve unnecessary unplugging. Why is this so bad? Because modern induction platforms store vital, non-volatile calibration data, things like coil impedance baselines and thermal response curves. When you do a hard power cycle, you literally erase all that context. The system is forced to relearn everything, which can actually cause a thermal drift of plus or minus 3.2 degrees Celsius. And in the culinary world, 3.2 degrees is easily the difference between a perfect simmer and a scorched, ruined sauce.
So instead of pulling the plug, we really need to listen to the experts on this one. The consensus among appliance engineers at major brands like Bosch, Miele, and GE is absolute. Soft resets preserve sensor integrity. In fact, their field service manuals explicitly prohibit circuit breaker resets for these errors unless you've already verified the ventilation and tried a soft reset first.
So, how do we actually pull off a soft reset properly? Here is Clara's step-by-step recovery method for a generic E1 thermal lockout. You can't just wait for the stove to cool down. The control board is stubbornly stuck in a fault hold mode. You have to send an explicit signal to unlock it. First, you press power off. Then, you wait exactly 12 seconds. Seriously, use your phone timer for this. After that, hold the power and the plus button until it flashes once, release it, and wait 3 seconds. That specific sequence is what clears the thermal lock.
But wait, if you're dealing with an E5 electromagnetic failure, it is a completely different ballgame. You have to use a totally different firmware pathway, you clean the zone, center a verified pan, and hold start and timer for 4 seconds until you hear a single soft chime. You simply cannot use the E1 reset for an E5 error or vice versa. They are completely distinct commands within the firmware.
Section 3. New Wave, a case study in specificity.
Okay, just when you think you've unlocked the universal cheat code for all induction cooktops, brace yourself for a massive twist. The New Wave PIC Flex manual completely flips the script. This comparison is mind-blowing. Clara's universal guide, which applies to tons of major brands, clearly states that E1 means the power electronics are overheating. But if you own a New Wave PIC Flex, the manufacturer explicitly programmed E1 to mean something entirely different. For them, it means no induction-ready cookware is detected on the surface. So if you try a complex thermal reset on a new wave that's throwing an E1, you are totally wasting your time. You literally just need a different pan.
And the contradictions just keep coming. A generic E5 means a pan detection issue, right? Well, not on a new wave. For them, an E5 means the unit is completely malfunctioning and you have to contact customer service immediately. Oh, and if it's overheating, New Wave handles that with codes E7 and E8.
Section 4. Mastering your induction cooktop.
This perfectly illustrates why we must synthesize the general science of induction with our manufacturer's exact guidelines. So, to avoid that pesky New Wave E1 no cookware error, you have to actually verify your pan is compatible. Don't just guess. Look for the specific induction-ready symbol printed on the bottom of the pan. It usually looks like a little coil of wire. You can also just test it with a fridge magnet. If it sticks firmly, you're usually good to go. Or just do a quick water boil test. Put a little water in the pan. If the induction connects, it's going to boil incredibly fast.
The physics here are actually pretty straightforward, as outlined in the New Wave manual. High-quality ferrous metals, basically iron-based and magnetic stuff like cast iron, enameled steel, and magnetic stainless steel, they work like an absolute dream. But materials like copper, glass, aluminum, or pottery? No way. They simply will not generate that necessary magnetic friction. Placing those on the cooktop is going to instantly trigger a detection error because the electromagnetic coils literally have nothing to interact with.
Now, to prevent New Wave's E7 code, which remember is their specific code for overheating, you've got to give the appliance some breathing room. You must keep at least 3 inches of totally free space around the back and sides of the cooktop. There are ventilation air vents located back there. If those get pushed up against the wall or blocked by a rogue cutting board, the internal fan cannot exhaust the heat and the system will trigger an automatic safety shutdown to prevent internal melting.
Finally, one absolute game changer on the New Wave is that you can completely control its thermal load. Out of the box, it pulls a robust 1500 watts. But if you're cooking in an older home, an RV, or sharing an electrical circuit with another heavy appliance, you can simply step that power draw down to 900 watts or even 600 watts. This totally prevents you from tripping your home's circuit breakers in the first place. We've seen today how general internet advice, even when it's scientifically sound, can completely lead you astray if it clashes with your manufacturer's specific firmware programming. So I'm going to leave you with this final provocative thought to take into your kitchen. What other secrets is your appliance manual hiding from you? When was the last time you actually read the specific troubleshooting guide for your most used kitchen tool? The real secret to perfect stress-free cooking might just be hiding in that little booklet you tossed in the junk drawer years ago. Happy cooking, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.